Did you get that off? Or did he get it off you? Oh, Sloan. He took your fly mask off. Okay. Well, everybody, it is the 1st of October. I'm here with Sloan. I'm doing nightly chores, all that fun stuff. But I realized that today actually marks 4 years since I have owned Sloan, which is so crazy. He's looking for treats, as he always is. But today marks 4 years. Not everything has gone to plan, very much so. I never expected to have Sloan having all the issues that he's had, and essentially all of the dreams that I had pretty much wiped out. But at the same time, I've learned so much from him. He's unlike any horse that I've ever had the opportunity to be around. Riding, personality-wise, he is just his own league of horse. I've never met a horse like him. And every vet and worker who's ever messed with him agrees. And they say there will never be another horse like Sloan. Today marks 4 years. I can't believe it. And as well, if you don't know, and if you're new to the channel, Sloan is the reason why I got into crochet to begin with. So I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. I would not be crocheting or having a YouTube channel or doing markets or being in stores if it wasn't for the fact that I never gotten Sloan and Sloan had never gotten hurt. So always a positive to think about. I definitely never expected any of this. So Sloan, are you just gonna keep looking in my pockets? Are you gonna like do a little cuteness for the camera? He's like, no. Look, he's literally, yeah, no, the camera on my phone isn't treats. But I'm gonna keep doing my barn. Alrighty, everybody, it is time to give the ponies their nighttime snacks. All right, Minnie, come here. She gets a special treat. There you go. And then this is Sloan's special treat with his medicine. Yummy. She gets another special treat for Sweet Pea. And then I've got normal treats in my pockets for these guys. And then Remy. And then he's all the way over there. So let's give Sloan a couple more. He's spoiled. And then turn the lights off. Jet is our oldest horse here. So he is 31. And he actually has one eye. So he doesn't always remember. Oh, and he has no teeth. That's why you hear the squeaking. So he doesn't always remember to come to the door. So I bring him his treat. But he's our oldest. He's 31, and like I said, he has no eye and no teeth, so he squeaks. And of course, after I give them their treats, I can't not give Freya and Two Bits anything. So they're waiting for me to make my way down, but I swear I just saw Freya running around. So maybe there's deer or something out in the woods. But let's give these two their treats, and then everybody will be good, right, Freya? She's like, yeah, you can't forget me. Okay, and there's her little bestie Two Bits, and Two Bits is also like ancient. I can't even tell you how old he is. You get it? Okay. Here you go, Two Bitty. All right. Good night, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, it is almost 2 o'clock, and I'm just now getting on the camera because it's been crazy for most of the morning, but it's slowing down. So we have almost 3 hours left. I'll be happy. I'm so tired. But Brenda, Smile, Mom.
Oh no!
Hey everybody. It's been a couple days since the market. It is actually the 8th, so Tuesday after the market. The market was Saturday, and I got so behind on recording, guys. It was like literally chaos. I was so stressed about this market. I think a couple days before the market, somebody had texted me and was like, hey, you know, this market's like supposed to be pretty crazy, all this type stuff. You know, you should make sure you bring like double of your inventory, like as much as possible. And I'm like sitting there like, I brought 9 boxes, right? So I don't actually know how much like plushies. I would assume probably like 300-ish. But I was just like sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, because as you guys know, if you've been following, right, like I opened up those stores this previous month at the beginning, and that took out like 130 items that I had to go put in stores, and then also just like maintaining everything. And I've been working like crazy to crochet everything again, but it never is enough to me. And so I got so stressed. And I didn't have much time to record, not because I like didn't want to record, because I love recording, but because I was literally going out the wahoo. I mean, I've said this before, I don't sleep as much as I once did. I used to get like, I don't know, like 8 something hours of sleep, right? And now I don't. I'm like kind of, I guess 7-ish. I don't know. I try and be in bed by 10, and I get up at like 4:45 every day. Markets, of course, is like much longer. But I was like so stressed at the wahoo that I was staying up till like 10:30, 11 o'clock crocheting. Still getting up at 4:45. I mean, the night before the market, I got up at like 4 o'clock. I still went to bed like super late because I was like, oh my god, I'm so stressed. Like everyone keeps saying these things. Like I gotta act like I need to go crochet as much as possible because I haven't been able to do a lot, and it was a lot. So when all that was happening, I was like, I didn't have time to record. I got super behind on like editing and everything. So I'm trying to catch up like on editing. I'm so behind on the crochet with me videos, but I knew like if I didn't record it, then I was going to just like not record it. Like it wasn't gonna happen. So I was recording them when I had time, and then I got really behind on editing, so I'm just trying to like catch things up. So I'm not 100% certain where in the order this video will be. It's gonna be a little chaotic until I can kind of like get everything like back in order. I'm not 100% certain if I'm gonna do like a huge overview video. I typically go through and like read off what I sold and how much I sold it for, but I think that's might be like a little boring. Like I don't want to put the effort into editing it and putting pictures on the screen just because like I know how long it would be and how much more time and energy that would take just given the vast like number of orders I get. And all I'm doing is really just saying like typically the same things on repeat. So I don't think I'm gonna do like a full breakdown video like I used to, but I can just kind of do a short, sweet little breakdown here. The market was 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Luckily, they let us come in the night before and like set some things up. Like I don't think it would have made a huge difference if I hadn't come because the tent was already there. They provided the tent and had it set up and broke it down. So it was really just like bringing products. So I think honestly, I ended up bringing like, I don't know, a couple tables. I put my banner up. I brought my boxes. I put like my chairs out, but like that was pretty much it. And I didn't have any of the plushies, so it was like I couldn't really like do anything more than that. There were some people who had brought all of their products, but I just couldn't even imagine because like literally it was downtown on a street, and I know there was police there, like they had a ton of police, but I would have been so worried. Like my stuff is so small and easy to grab. I already have experience with that, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna even risk it. Like I'm not. It was a bit of a hike, like I guess. I don't know. I think I made it harder on myself. I didn't want to pull through because of getting like blocked in the traffic, so I just decided like I'll just walk everything back and forth, and it was such a pain. I don't typically have to worry about walking like half a mile or something, but that is what I was having to do. It was a little bit over half a mile to get to the spot and then walk back and then get the spot. And yeah, I usually, when I do markets, I feel like I don't really walk around that much compared to like my normal everyday. But this particular market, no, it was like the same as a normal day of working here. So I found that really funny. It was like 20,000 steps. I was like, how often do you do a market and get 20,000 steps? Like, this is not super common. It was 10 a.m. to 5. I think I got there at like 7:15, 7:30. Got the plushies out, set everything up. The weather ended up being super nice. We were super fortunate. It was like not too hot. And I got lucky that my tent was in the shade. Some other people were like full sunlight all day, but mine was in the shade, so that was nice. The only interesting thing was we were like literally on a slope, and there was a drain pipe right next to us, so I put like all of my boxes in front of the drain pipe because I was afraid something would like roll down and I would never see it again. And then I had some problems with like some of my items like falling over, so I had to move like the penguins, the chicks, the rounded objects. I had to move them over to a different one and then put like the turtles, axolotls, like things that I knew would be able to like sit, I put up front. It was very different in the regards that I like when markets just stay kind of like consistent, like nothing too chaotic. This market reminded me of like, it would be pure chaos. And I mean, just like so much happening, and then it would just kind of go dead. And then like 8 people running into your tent grabbing things, and then like that. So it was just, that part wasn't very fun because I don't really get overwhelmed a lot. I always say like, I'm not a super type of person just because I am like kind of like half asleep, I feel like, all the time. But I'm not like a like overwhelmed individual typically. But that kind of was a lot. By the end of the day, I was like, oh my gosh, again. I did end up getting all of the tax stuff, the small business license. I spent a good deal of money on that, and they didn't ask for it at all, which I was like, okay, well, I figure I truly needed to get it, so it's not a big deal, but I would have liked if they had asked for my information since they had made such a big deal about it. And then I ended up buying one of those fancier square terminals. It was like a little bit over $300, I think, and I could not get that sucker to work. So thank goodness I had brought along like the little tiny like $15 chip or like square little reader, and that carried me through the day because yeah, the square terminal, I don't know what was wrong with it. Like, it was Wi-Fi, it was connected to my phone, and it like wouldn't chip read or tap, but it was just being weird. And like, I was so upset because I had spent all this money because I was like, oh, this is gonna make it so much easier, and it didn't. And then when we had these like breaks of downtime, I like even took my own credit card and was trying to get it to work, and I couldn't get it to work at all. So I guess I need to like sit down and try and figure out what in the world or how to work this thing before my next market, because I'm like, I just spent like over $300 on it. Like, this shouldn't be happening. All in all, the market went very well. It was pretty considerable to the other markets I do. I think I made just about like $2,500, maybe a little bit more. So a really good day for a market. I mean, I'm always thankful if I can make like anything to cover my table. So the fact that I'm able to make that much is a huge deal. So I want to thank you to everyone who supports me. Funny enough, I have like literally 3 weeks back to back of my horse's appointments. Like yesterday, he got body work done. Next week, I have the vet coming out to do work on him, and then my other horse Freya has to get her teeth done and teeth pulled, and then I believe the week after that I have a farrier's appointment, and then I can't remember if I have something the week after. So he's got like 3 or 4 weeks in a row of appointments, so always thankful when I can have some extra money to help pay for that. It was a super good day. Like, my neighbors were all super nice, the weather was super nice, and I was able to sell some big items. So I finally sold the Winnie the Pooh guys. I knew that it was either gonna sell this market or next market because of the time of year. I didn't expect it to be a summer sale because most of the time I feel like those markets, people are just like come in a lot, and buying something that's like cheap isn't really something they have to think about, versus when you get into Christmas time, I have found pretty consistently, I think, that the closer you get to Christmas, the more people are willing to spend. So I tend to sell a lot of big items in the Christmas time versus the rest of the year. It's just like small things. So I sold the Winnie the Pooh. I had stayed up and had made an otter that was pretty big. I sold that. I sold the moose. So I think pretty much most of all of the new items they brought to this market I sold, which is like really fun because, you know, you never know what's gonna happen when you bring new items. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen at any market. I was very excited to sell the Winnie the Pooh. The guy's been with me for a while and he is the most expensive one. I think I ended up selling him for 90. It was either 90 or 95. I feel like I would have put it at 90. So I did finally end up selling him to a kind of like teenage girl, and then everything else really sold well. I mean, the hedgehogs, pigs, your standard stuff that always sells well. Like, I think I brought 10 possums and I came back with 2 maybe. So, I mean, everything sold well. I have 0 complaints. I'm looking forward to this little bit of a break before my next market, because my next market is actually like the end of November. It's gonna be so weird to have one like that week or weekend before Thanksgiving. So I'm looking forward to having basically like the rest of October free, and then having the pretty much like 23, I think it's like the 23rd. So however much time before in November to be able to do things. I'm looking forward to that break because I also don't have to do any crazy big store moving in things that take up all my stock. I'm actually doing a few customs. I told myself I wasn't going to, but then I was like, oh, I have this break. So I'm starting like a custom horse tonight. I'm actually gonna be done with it for tonight. And then I have a cat lined up. So I'm doing like a few custom things, which has been fun. Like, I finally was able to make big items again the like 2 days before this market. I've just been doing small things besides that. It was definitely a lot of fun to do larger items, and I always love customs because it always challenges me to do things that I don't normally do, because I feel like I'm so rinse and repeat. If you're gonna be at markets and if you're gonna be at stores, you really have to be able to like make the exact same thing like hundreds and hundreds of times, especially if you're me, with just how much goes out. Like, you have to be comfortable just never really deviating from anything. So being able to make a few big items was a lot of fun. It made me realize how much better I've gotten at crocheting, seeing just like the fact that I can make some of these things. And as well, I was super happy that since I stayed up so late making them, that they all sold. I was kind of saying that if I like didn't sell them, I'd be like a little bit frustrated in the regards how to be like, oh, I didn't have to like waste 2 hours of sleep or like lose that sleep that I really need. But since they sold, I was like, it was well worth it. So I think that's basically where I'll end this video. It was kind of like chaos and like crazy, and I'm just gonna get back to getting better at filming. I'm just kind of like tired but happy to have a break, and it's just markets really take a lot out of me in leading up to the market, just because it's not just a market for me, it's like getting up. I mean, by the time the market starts at like 10 a.m., I've already been up for like, you know, 6-7 hours. It's not a 10 to 5, or like some people I always talk to, they'll wake up at like 7:30, and I'm like, oh, 7:30? I've already been up over 4 hours. A lot. But that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing year so far with your own crochet. I hope if you're having any markets, everything goes well, and I will see you guys on the next video, whatever it is. I can't promise at this point. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the night. I'll see you next time. Bye.